Welcome back. So far, we have seen some sort of modeling of the system and the concept of transfer function and block diagram algebra, signal flow graph. Now we will enter into the analysis part. Today's discussion will be time domain analysis, the standard test signal used for it, and concept of order and type of a system. This will be further used in the analysis, time domain analysis. So the word time domain analysis itself defines the same, that the analysis of the system in time domain. Time domain means independent variable is time. That is, we have a system. Let us see. We have a system with, say, transfer function g of s. We are applying some input, say u of t, and getting output y of t. Then, if we record this output, say with reference to time, this is the time axis, and here I am plotting, say, output y of t, and let me define, or let this be the steady state. And say, for example, output starts responding the input and it approaches the steady state as time t increases. I am giving here a break, and then let this be, which is fictitious, say here steady state, say yss at t equal to infinity, which is, so that is, it is fictitious. T equal to infinity we can never get. But what we can see, this has, the output has two parts. One is the stable or stationary, and the other one is dynamic. So this is static response and dynamic response, and hence it can be partitioned or part into two different components as transient response and second one as steady state response. So when we talk about the time domain analysis, we want to perform its transient analysis as well as steady state analysis. So we want to analyze the transient response. What is transient response? Transient response, it is output y of t for t, or t is between 0 to infinity, and steady state response is what? Y of t at t equal to infinity. So in a series of lectures, say 4 to 5 lectures, we will discuss this. We will solve number of numerical examples, and we will perform the transient analysis and steady state analysis. This is very important with reference to design of control system. Now, how to get this? What can be this input? Input can be anything. However, there are certain standard test signals. Standard test signals. And they have close resemblance with the real time phenomena. Like we have a test signal unit impulse, and this unit impulse can be sketched as, or let us define it, unit impulse given by the letter delta t, which is equal to 1 for t equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 if t is not equal to 0. So it is appearing only at a single time instance. And if I want to sketch it, in time domain, let this be delta t, and let I have time t equal to 0 here. Then the delta t signal is, let this be 1. So this is the representation of impulse, unit impulse signal, and it has a close resemblance with the impulsive disturbances. So suddenly some disturbance comes and it vanishes, but it effects lies on the system for quite a long time. So this is impulse signal. Then next signal is unit step. Unit implies its amplitude is 1. So this unit step signal is defined by u of t equal to 1 for time t greater than equal to 0. It is equal to 0 for t less than 0. So if I want to sketch it, let this be t. Here this is u of t, and let this be 1, and let here I have the time t equal to 0. So this is a unit step signal, and this will be till infinity. So this is like a step, sudden change which lasts permanently. For example, you can take an example like, say you have a temperature control system. Desired temperature is initially 25 degrees centigrade, and now you want to change the temperature from 25 to 50. So there is a sudden change in the set point which will be there till the end. So this is a step change from 25 to 50. So unit step means change of unit. So this is unit step change. This is also very important signal in the analysis. These two have more importance than the remaining two. Remaining two are also quite useful, but as they are unbounded signals, their use is limited. So the third one is unit ramp. This unit ramp, let us define it as UR, and it is given by t, unit ramp. So slope is unity for t greater than equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 for t less than 0. So if I want to sketch it, it will be line with 45 degree slope. So this slope is unity, slope equal to 1. So it is unbounded, because as time t progresses to infinity, this also becomes infinity. So itself is unbounded, and that is why its use is limited, and it doesn't have much closer resemblance to the real time incidences. Then last one of our interest in time domain only, is unit parabolic. So let us define this as, say, up of t is t square by 2 for t greater than equal to 0 for t less than 0. And if you want to sketch it, let this here t equal to 0 is there, it will be like this. Even here you have t equal to 0, t equal to 0, t equal to 0 at the origin. And if you look at them carefully, you will find that if you take derivative of this parabolic, you will get ramp. If you take derivative of ramp, you take step. You get derivative of step, you get impulse. And same way, if you go on integrating these, if you integrate impulse, you get step. If you integrate step, you get ramp. If you integrate ramp, you get parabolic. Very simple. Next topic is discussion will be on order and type of a system. So all these are the prerequisites or the elementary material required for time domain analysis. of a system. So what is order? It is the highest power of S in the denominator of transfer function. It is also equal to, or it is equal to, the number of poles. Next, consider type of system. Type of a system. So type means it is the number of poles at origin. Very simple. And to clarify, let me have a transfer function as say s plus z1 into s plus z2 so on up to s plus zm. Purposely I am writing it into the pole 0 format, divided by say s raised to j into s plus p1 into s plus p2 so on up to s plus p n minus j, where m shall be less than equal to n, and the 0 is at minus z1 minus z2 up to minus zm, and poles are at minus p1 minus p2 up to minus pn minus j. So in this case there are how many roots? N minus j plus j poles at origin, so n poles. So order is n, and type equal to j. Why type is j? Because there are j poles at origin. Let us have a better understanding of this concept. Let us take few examples, simple examples that will clarify the concept. Determine order and type of the following systems. We will consider the first one, g of s equal to s cube plus 4s square plus 7s plus 3 divided by s raised to 4 plus 4s cube plus 2s square plus 5s plus 4. Second example I will take, g of s equal to s square plus 5s plus 7 divided by s cube plus 4s square plus 5s. Let me take another example, g of s is equal to s plus 3 divided by s into s plus 3 into s plus 7 plus 10. This plus 10 will take the decision. And okay, let the 3 are enough. So for the first example, here the highest power of s is 4, so order equal to 4, and you cannot take any s common from this, so none of the pole is at origin. So type is 0. So this is type 0 system. Type 0 for fourth order type 0 system, this one. In the second example, if I consider here order highest power of s in the denominator is 3, so order is 3, and for type, here you can take s common from this, so this will be s into bracket s square plus 4s plus 5. That means you can take s common, so there is one pole at origin, and hence type is 1. So this is third order type 1 system. And the last one, if you expand this will be of order 3, because if you expand you will get highest power of s equal to 3, so order is 3, and type, here this will mislead you that there is something s common and pole at origin, but not. There is a tail, and this tail will not allow the pole to be at origin, so there is no pole at origin, and type is 0. So carefully we have to identify what is type and what is order of a system. Once you know this, it will help you in simplifying the steady state analysis. This is enough in this lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss the first order system, its time domain analysis or transient analysis of the first order system, its time domain specifications, and we will solve simple numerical examples. Thank you.